Hello and welcome to yet another Geek Show. I'm your host, Dalton Munnell.
I'm your host. Gotta go fast.
I was not expecting that.
Only the opener gets gags, Alex. If you want to gag, you gotta start the show.
You know what, Dalton? You gotta go fast.
You're too slow.
Yeah, gotta go fast.
All right, fair enough. You guys are listening to our Spotlight episode on Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which may as well be our second Spotlight episode on this game, since that's half of what we talked about during our Sonic the Hedgehog 1 Spotlight.
Yeah, I actually came in here fully prepared to only talk about Sonic the Hedgehog 1 in this show, because I just feel like I owe the game that much after not talking about it during its own spotlight.
I think we gave it its due.
So anyway, guys, how's it feel to have Spin Dash again?
Oh, so good.
Right?
Vital.
Fuck.
It feels vital.
Man.
I think there's been ports of the original that add the spin dash to it.
Oh.
I think. And I don't know why I'd say that on this episode and not the last one. Maybe because I wasn't sure last time, and this time I don't care that I'm not sure. That said, I've owned many ports of it, and none of my versions have had it. So maybe I'm wrong. In any case, on to the much better game. So last episode, I asked what your history was with the franchise, and both of you actually grew up on this game, right?
Yeah. This might actually be the shortest spotlight we have so far.
Because we've already talked about it quite a bit.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but Sonic 2 became available on mobile, and to kind of kill two birds with one stone, that's how I played it.
Oh, yeah. Like the Android port?
Yeah, which allows you to use Knuckles.
Oh, fun. Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Oh, really? Okay. And I think I don't know if it was just my play, because I played Sonic 2 recently enough that I didn't have to go back and beat it again as Sonic. But I did notice that in the Knuckles version of it, like the special stage, looks like it was completely remodeled on the Android version. Like it actually looked like
interesting.
Looked like a 2D sprite on like 3D mapping. Like it was weird. Mapping, you know.
Mopping.
Yeah, 3D mopping.
3D mopping.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never bought a port of anything on mobile, but I'll be curious to see what that's about, because it's strange for the rest of the game to be faithful and for that to apparently be changed.
Yeah, I didn't go back and see if they did it for like every individual special stage, but I didn't buy it actually. It's free. Mm-hmm. You can buy it for like $2 to get rid of the ads, which the ads are annoying, but it's only between levels. It's not that bullshit where it's like hit a checkpoint, you get an ad, you know, which at least like they were cool enough about it to be like, okay, we know that you beat a level. Can you just watch this so you can still play it?
Yeah, well, not to get on another moral rant after the Switch episode we just did, but I simply refuse anymore to play ad-supported games. So, yeah, give me the $2 damn game and I'll buy it. Don't show me any more ads.
I don't think I've tried to use phone emulation to play anything other than like turn-based RPGs and strategy games.
It's
how was playing something as fast and, you know, precision requiring as Sonic
I'm glad
with a
you
touch
asked,
screen?
actually.
I can't imagine liking that at all.
Please tell me you used a controller.
Yes.
It was some kind of peripheral for it.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Moto Z series of phone.
It's your one with all the mods.
Yeah. It's I have the phone that you can clip mods to it, and I bought a controller close to a year ago for it, and that's how I played it.
Okay.
Like it literally snaps onto the phone, and like it's got like magnets in it that snap into the phone, and then there's pins that let the data transfer between them. Like it's super cool.
Well, that sounds much less aggravating than trying to play Sonic with a goddamn touchscreen.
Trust me, I tried. It's miserable.
I've tried it, and I've managed, like when I've tried to emulate on a touchscreen, it's like RPGs have been fine and pretty much nothing else. For anything else, I have a little clip that sits my phone on top of my Xbox One controller, which since the S, those are all Bluetooth, so they work with a phone pretty natively. That said, I also played the game in a pretty unique way that Alex, you actually came over and saw when it was happening.
Yeah.
That's an uncomfortable way to word that.
Well, I walked in on it and you didn't know I was there.
I always know.
All right,
You're
all right.
there.
In a conversation about Sonic the Hedgehog, this has a possibility of getting dark very fast.
Well, you see, Dalton was blindfolded. I walked into his house.
He's not wrong so far.
The smell of chili dogs was everywhere. It hung in the air.
It really did. You could almost cut the bread of the hot dog with a knife.
Just the air was thick with chili
Yes.
and shame.
Yes, it was. As Princess Peach was there too. All right, we're getting too fanficky for this.
God.
Fuck that.
Anyway, before this gets any weirder for the audience, I was playing it in my VR headset. I was playing it in my Vive in a virtual theater. And it's just, I've known that was an option since I've had the thing for like 2 years, but just never bothered because normally it doesn't seem worth the trade-off where, yeah, it convincingly feels like you're looking at a giant screen, but the resolution, you know, like if I'm playing a PC game, the monitor at my desk is 1440p, but then you throw that game in the headset and now, okay, the headset screen is 1200 pixels tall, but you're in a theater, the game's not covering your whole screen, so maybe the picture's actually showing up like half of that tall, and now the image just isn't clear enough to be worth it. It's not worth the trade-off, but I figured, oh, wait a minute, because of this show, I'm playing a lot of retro games that are really low resolution anyway. Let's give it a shot. And man, it was a hell of a way to play it.
Mm-hmm. I think you and we also had the experience of playing it on an OLED screen, which gives you pretty near to true color.
Yeah, so OLED ordinarily, the big deal is that it allows for true blacks because the pixel can actually turn 100% completely off. But inside the Vive, it does have an OLED screen, but for some reason, they prevent it from turning completely black. It just has something to do with, I don't know, some kind of artifact of the lenses that people don't like seeing. I don't really know the details there. So it's not quite there, but the colors in general, I mean, it's still pretty dark, and the colors, man, they really popped.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really made the game look like something special all over again. Just seeing it on the OLED.
Yeah.
In a floating screen in a black void of space.
With your best friend
It's a nifty
watching
experience.
you without you knowing.
Mm-hmm. For the record, I always hear people walk in that door when I'm in it.
Yeah. Well, either way, we're getting a little off topic here and a little too fan fiction-y, even though we're in the right territory. Onto the game. It was really nice playing a classic game on newer technology like that, just because it made the game feel a little more fresh and unique, especially with like a lot of the indie games that we've all probably been playing here. I don't know about you, but it's kind of like revisiting being 8 again. It's like mm-hmm. Especially with like the game controller that I was using, it felt like I was playing my Game Boy Advance again for like the first time, just on a better scale.
Yeah. Oh, and it's nice to not be playing it on a Genesis controller, but we'll have a million episodes I could shit on the Genesis controller for.
Oh yeah. So
I go back to this game every couple of years.
Yeah.
This game is timeless.
It really is.
Yeah. And it's almost a breeze for me at this point. Just all of these games, really, besides a level or two. It's funny. I associate this era with being ruthlessly difficult, but these games, I don't know if they're actually just easier than games of that era or if I just played them too much. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not good. I'm not a speed runner, but just I think a big part of my enjoyment for these games is, I can actually play these and feel like I'm not being punished.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's
except for the Wing Fortress zone. Wing Fortress can eat my entire ass.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's hard for this game, for this franchise, but it still feels way easier than anything we did in Mega Man.
Yeah, I'll give you that, yes.
Oh, guys, let me tell you, though, Chemical Plant Zone, I don't know if you guys played as Knuckles in that in the Sonic 2?
I did not this time around.
Playing as Knuckles in Chemical Plant Zone made all the anxiety go away.
Oh yeah, because there's the vertical segments where you're drowning underwater and you got to get up those rotating platforms. And yeah, I'm sure Knuckles just climbs up the side of the wall and goes like, "What's good?"
Yep, absolutely. That made my life so much fucking easier. Oh my god. Because usually, like, when I go back and play these games, if I get like more than annoyed, I'm just like, you know what, fuck it, I'll pick it up later. And then 3 months go by and I'm like, all right, let me play it again. I'll admit I'm not very good at Sonic, even though I did grow up with it. In fact, I don't know if this is a thing in like the original copy, but there's a hidden special stage without activating the stars around the checkpoint in this copy.
Oh,
yeah,
that doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah. I got
wonder
to
if
Mystic
that's
Cave
unique
Zone.
to playing as Knuckles.
Right. I wasn't sure if you guys have ever had this experience. It was like,
You know what? I can't answer you because I've played as Knuckles, but I probably haven't done it in like 15 years. I have a weird habit of starting a game with a character selection and feeling like there's a particular right way to play it and that I should only bother with the others if I'm going to keep doing them afterwards.
Dalton, I'm the same way.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I always go for what I think is the intended experience first, and like alternate playable characters, I will only ever play them on like subsequent playthroughs.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, even like the Mario Kart games, anytime I start them, like I'm always Mario. I don't even know what the other characters feel like. Because I owned Super Mario Kart and decided, oh, well, Mario's how the game's really meant. And then got used to that and just kept picking them for every later game.
Well, see, here's the thing. This special level, it happened in Mystic Cave Zone, which I still, hands down, is the dopest track of all Sonic games. Like,
I don't know, man. Chemical Plant is a bop.
Oh, no, it really is, but... What would you
Mystic
rather
Cave is
listen
great,
to?
though. Not gonna, like.
Oh yeah.
I think we already went over the soundtrack in Sonic 1 Spotlight. I think we talked about our
Sonic 2
favorite
Chemical
soundtracks
Plant,
of all
Mystic
time,
Cave, and Oil Ocean.
Yeah, Oil
Oh
Ocean.
yeah, we did. But I was playing through this level, and I can't remember if it was Act 1 or Act 2. I think it was Act 2. But there's a particular point where you have to jump at this lever, otherwise you fall into a pit of spikes. And it's always been like the arch enemy of mine in that level. And I finally thought I nailed it because I knew where it was coming. I was like, oh, it's coming up. It's coming up. And I jump in the air, miss the damn lever, and fall through, and there's no spikes.
Oh.
And I'm like, what the fuck? And a different sprite animation for Knuckles. He just kind of like looks at the screen and goes, whoa, whoa, you know. And then you're thrown into another level entirely. It's a secret stage. I can't remember the name of the stage. Yeah. But it didn't feel like Sonic 2. In fact, it had its own Robotnik boss. What was it called? It was like Water Palace or something like that, or Secret Palace or something. And it was like bright gold and all this other shit. It was really weird. And I got frustrated with Robotnik in that level because I'd never fought him before in that level, and I just kind of quit. And then I just kind of watched someone beat.
Hey,
you know.
was this called Hidden Palace?
Yes. There's like a lot of water slides and stuff.
I haven't played it. I'm just looking up the wiki about it. Eventually it was a removed stage. That, as far as I can tell, is only on the mobile versions.
Oh, okay.
It was a removed stage, and then they finished it and put it on iOS and Android.
That makes a lot of sense why it looked a lot more updated than the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Because the Robotnik boss felt really complicated, actually.
Yeah. So you were trying to remember the name of it there, and you said Palace, and I'm like, wait a minute, this sounds familiar. And then I could see that stage in my head. I didn't know it ever got finished. I was always aware that like you could find it incomplete with like a Game Genie.
Oh, okay.
And so I just looked that up, and yeah, that's what that's about.
Yeah, I didn't know that was an actual thing. Funny.
Oh, well, nifty that you played that version then, because I would never suggest the mobile version of anything to anyone.
But yeah, this Robotnik boss was a pain in the butt, dude. There was like, okay, you had a regular plane that you would run left and right on like a closed off screen. The classic, here's the stage, get ready to fight. But then a little bit of water landed on the floor, and it was like below you. Like it wasn't like it was like covering half the tile set for the floor. And then Robotnik comes out with a giant tuba. Okay.
Okay.
It comes out with a tuba, and he plays this tuba, and mines fall out of the sky, and they land in that water, and then the water raises, and you have to avoid the mines.
Mm-hmm.
And then he plays the tuba again, and a giant mine comes down, and it follows you specifically in that water. You still have to avoid it because it actually pops up above the floor, and you can get stabbed by it because it has spikes and shit. It's weird.
Okay.
And then when it blows up, it shoots like a geyser of water straight up in the air. And the gimmick is you have to have Robotnik above that geyser. And then he falls down, and then you can hit him. Because if you try to jump up and hit him, like you would regularly in any Sonic 2 boss, he actually adjusts his flight path accordingly and moves up exactly as you jump. So it was just like a ridiculously annoying boss because I'm not good enough on my reaction times to where I can jump out of the way of this geyser before it hurts me and him still be in the flight path of it. So that's why I got mad and quit.
And Knuckles doesn't jump as high, so you have a bit less control.
Right. So that was my...
Well, okay, so speaking of which, tell me if I'm remembering this correctly. Bits of the stages get modified when you play as Knuckles because of him not being able to jump as high.
No, it felt pretty accurate to me.
There are some boss fights that would be impossible because the hits are positioned at the very top of Sonic's jump.
If they changed it, I didn't notice it so much. It's enough to not notice it, I guess.
I mean, maybe because it's been long enough since you've
it's been probably
played the normal version.
Probably a month since I've played just regular Sonic.
Josh, did you end up playing as Knuckles?
I meant to do it, and I didn't end up getting around to it. So I did.
Okay, fair enough.
Because it had been so long since I had played Sonic 2 on my own. I just did a good old Sonic playthrough.
Okay.
Just figured you wouldn't really notice what the changes were anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not bad. I mean, granted, like I was trying to say, I got mad and quit after I kept dying at that special boss. So I went from Mystic Cave and on watching somebody else play it. And that guy, let me tell you, he was so much better at the game than I was. Now, that being said, every time I play this game, it always takes me back just a little bit. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't remember the verses.
I just want to verify real quick that I Googled it, and it is a thing that the levels get changed to compensate for Knuckles, but it's apparently just a few minor things.
Oh, okay.
They never outright go like, here's a new section. It's just, oh, this wall's a little too tall. Let me fix that.
Oh, okay. Now, I know Dalton and we did a playthrough of the Versus mode on Sonic 2, which I don't know if I told you, but I had a little more experience than you with that.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that during our Let's Play.
Did we?
Yeah, we talked about you playing it with your sister and then me not actually having any friends, but turning it on with two controllers anyway to see what it was. But in this game, the multiplayer is identical to the single player levels with different music slapped on. That's not as good as the original music.
Oh, hey, something I remembered. If you play split screen in Mystic Cave Zone, that music that we heard, that was the track to Hidden Palace.
Oh,
I just remembered that because it started off really like clunky, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, this is really not a good track. And then when I jumped into that Hidden Palace level, I was like, wait, I recognize this. And I couldn't remember why until just now.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I'm wondering if they maybe intentionally killed the level so they can use it in the split screen. Because they were like, nah, fuck this level. This track is too good. We'll throw it in 2-player mode.
Josh, did you ever play the multiplayer?
So, refresh my memory on this. Isn't it just like the Emerald mini games, or is there something else to it?
No, well, you can do the Emerald mini game too, but no, they take 3 of the levels. Was it Green Hill,
Casino,
Mystic Cave, and the Casino?
Yeah, it was those 3, and then they give you the special stage run too.
So it's split screen, and you just play through an identical level at the same time, and it's not quite a race. It's based on, there's like 5 qualifiers. Like you have to get 3 out of 5 of these things, and those things are like highest ring count, beating the level fastest, highest score, something like that. I don't remember what the 5 are. And so you can kind of pick and choose what things you're going to focus on to try to win. And the only other like significant change to the gameplay is that they include an item box that makes the 2 players instantly switch places, which is just kind of bullshit.
Oh, that's infuriating.
Oh, are you talking about when you would jump ahead of the other character?
I mean, there's an item box you could.
Sorry, I just remembered that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a thing. This multiplayer is not really worth the time we've already given to it.
Yeah. No,
kind of sounds like it.
Just wanted to make sure I acknowledged that it existed. It's a little more worthwhile in 3.
Yeah. I think
just a little.
I think our playthrough is worth watching though. If it's up by the time you listen to this, it might be a little longer if you're a more recent listener to when we started. But if it's been a couple months since this episode's been out, there's a good chance it's out there and you should watch us play through it and yell at each other.
Yeah, check it out on the channel. Yet another Let's Play.
Yeah.
All right, back to the meat and bones though. Man, I guess we already sort of talked about the music, but guys, this is the best music in a franchise known for good music.
Yeah.
In their era of good music.
I do have to say, though, if you're looking for a good dark soundtrack from the Genesis era, look up Echo 2's soundtrack.
Is there a reason you're comparing that to Sonic?
No. As far as like soundtracks go from the Genesis era, there are 3 that are on my list, and those 2 are on it. The Sonic 2 soundtrack and the Echo 2 soundtrack are phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
They're not all
interesting,
gems, but they're all really fucking good from that era.
Yeah, well, these are, I don't know, guys. Is every song on this one a gem?
Sorry, it's an
I
emerald.
can't think. Maybe the only level I'm not like 10 out of 10 in love with the theme is Hilltop Zone.
Okay.
Which I could take or leave.
Is that the 3rd stage?
That's the 5th stage. It's the one right before Mystic Cave.
Yeah, that one's not the greatest.
I'm actually quite the fan of that one. I enjoy that one a lot.
Really?
Just something sounds different about it. There's just nothing else quite like it, which is not inherently always a good thing, but it makes it stand out to me and be pretty catchy.
Overall, though, you're hard pressed to find a weak song in this entire soundtrack.
Oh, absolutely. They're all very strong, but Hilltop is probably the weakest link. Because if you were to listen to it without the stage, I don't think it would work very well without its context.
Sure. I don't know. Agree to disagree. I feel like I could listen to any of this outside of the game without context, and that one would, I don't know, strangely.
I mean,
I know that one's not really a fan favorite because I've never like stumbled upon someone doing a metal guitar cover of it. I've never seen it pop up in a medley, so I realize that's unique to me, but I'm enjoying that one just as much as most of it.
It's still a very enjoyable track, but if you were to show someone the soundtrack without them playing the game, I don't think they would get a very good imagery for it.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's mostly my argument with that song.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying there. Sure. But looking at the list of levels to like try to remember in my head, what does the music sound like in this one? I get fuzzy when I get down to the bottom and I look at Metropolis, Sky Chase, Wing Fortress, Death Egg, the very end of it, but then it occurs to me, those just aren't drilled into my head as badly because they're the end of the game. Of course you would hear them less often.
Right.
So I think that's all there is to that. I'm sure that would all pop right into my head, after hearing a couple notes of it anyway.
Oh, right. Yeah. A lot of these are very memorable. Maybe just because like I've known about them since I was born in 94. This game came out in what, 92?
I think it's 92, yeah.
So this game is 2 years older than I am. So, I mean, I grew up with it a lot. I think I got my Genesis when I was 4 or 5, I think, somewhere around there. And I've been playing the game ever since.
Yeah, and so playing it, if you didn't have a Game Genie or didn't abuse the level select cheat, or before you could watch other people play it on YouTube or look up the soundtrack, of course, you're going to hear the songs up front the most often, and I guess that's why Green Hill and Emerald Hill are some of the most memorable. They're just the ones we've heard the most. And Chemical Plant, because if you didn't make it to Chemical Plant, you can just sit down your controller and walk away forever.
Yeah, why are you even playing Sonic, man?
I meant more like video games in general, but sure.
Well, I mean,
Is this the game where it was the urban legend that Michael Jackson was working on the soundtrack, or was that Sonic 3?
That's 3.
That's 3.
And Knuckles.
Was that actually
And
true?
It is true.
Yeah,
it is
true.
100%. I think it was not verified for a long time, but as of right now, it is 100% verified true. I think there's just uncertainty over which songs it was.
Okay. I remember it being an
'cause it
urban
wasn't
legend. I
all of
never
them.
remembered it being confirmed or not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I'll look forward to that
Yeah,
episode then.
Yeah.
we should spotlight Michael Jackson's video game for the Genesis. That'd be fun.
Only if we
I
do
think that
Shaq
could live with
Fu
just
right
a
after
Let's
that.
Play.
Oh, fuck.
Oh my God. Okay, we're going to do a spotlight series of celebrity games.
I'm actually all about that.
Oh, man, that would be...
Okay,
oh.
it's mostly Tony Hawk.
Still about it.
Yeah.
Great, absolutely. But so back to this game. Another change I quite liked compared to the first game is that the levels now, there's... They split everything into 2 acts instead of 3, throwing the boss at the end of the second one, but then they made the levels longer, like significantly longer than the levels in the first game.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that sticks out to me as a positive change, not just plowing through the level immediately and, that's it, I'm done. Okay.
Well, how about this? Instead of your least favorite song on the soundtrack, what's your least favorite level?
I already said Wing Fortress.
Yeah, that's fair. Dalton, I don't think I heard yours.
That's hard for me between... okay, I'm jumping between answering with which one I'm least intrigued by, like the design and music and whatnot, and which levels I like less because of like the difficulty I struggled with them.
Go for the most struggling.
This might be a strange answer, but the Casino Night Zone.
Thank you. Oh my God, I'm so glad you said
Because
that.
it's difficult in a way that generally doesn't kill you, but just wastes a shitload of your time.
Yes.
Just getting stuck bumping between stupid areas.
I was going to say, if you weren't going to say Casino Zone, then I was going to, because of that exact reason. There's one spot in particular.
And that feels
with the
bad
pinball
because it's a
machine.
classic. It feels bad because it's a classic and like it gets referenced back to in later games frequently. It's important, but as for the actual layout, like, no, I don't have fun getting stuck, getting smacked around like a pinball.
And the big thing is you're timed, you know, like, even though it's not like always a big deal, but if you really get stuck, you're kind of done.
Yeah, I've definitely died by time in that level, and that might be the only level that's happened to me in.
Absolutely. You know, there was a theory I didn't test playing Sonic 1, but if you let Sonic stand idle for so long, he'll actually jump off of the map and kill himself.
I've seen that. I don't know if that's in this game as well, or if he just does his annoyed, edgy finger wag.
Yeah, he doesn't like kill himself, but like basically he jumps off screen and is just like, no, fuck this, I'm out of here, dude. You're not playing.
Yeah, you're gonna run out of time anyway.
He's like, gotta go fast, dude.
That said, that level is annoying just in the time it wastes, but Wing Fortress is probably harder.
Oh yeah,
It's
for
probably,
sure.
I think Wing Fortress has the hardest jumps in the game by far. And I just remember...
and Wing Fortress actually kills you when you screw up.
Right.
Yeah.
And it really sucks to run out of continues trying to get the tough jumps there, because if you run the whole way out, you know, you're on the penultimate level, and now you got to play the whole game again. And I remember that burning me pretty badly when I was playing the game for the first time, trying to complete it.
Yeah. Can I throw out another thought here too? I hate to focus on the negative, but this is already such a good game. Least intriguing level design for me was Metropolis Zone.
I liked Metropolis Zone.
I really like the music in Metropolis.
Oh yeah, me too. But like the levels, like the colors, they didn't they didn't stick out.
I guess it is all just kind of like green and mesh and cogs, but I really liked running on the screws and using them as elevators that you kind of like crank yourself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm a fan of cranking myself too, Josh, but I mean, it gets boring.
In terms of what it adds to the gameplay, I like it, but I guess I'm looking at a screenshot here, and just in the level, I'm seeing like the copper pipe color and the green and blue and red.
And that's it.
Like I'm seeing 4 key colors. No, I don't mean that's it. I mean, that might be too many colors for what's going on here.
I mean, it's just the colors didn't stick out enough to me, and I'm probably gonna get hate for like, well, Mystic Cave Zone's pretty dark in color too, but there's also a lot, like the colors contrast a lot better, I think, in Mystic Cave Zone versus Metropolis Zone, where they kind of just, you can see them like part of like a palette, you know, like these 4 colors work together, use them in this level, you know?
Yeah, like this background might have came from, you know, might not have been designed alongside the the foreground. I would only guess that they were designed together because that like the like metal grills, the meshing is on both sides. That said, I don't know. It still looks better than most games of the era, so certainly. I'm not going to nitpick it. But sure, some levels are less fun to look at than others.
Yeah, I mean, aside from the minor gripes that we really have, they're not like game breaking or, you know, unplayable messes. You know, these games really do hold up even to this day. And how old are they now? 27?
Something like that.
Yeah, they're about.
Oh, and props to both Chemical Plant and Aquatic Ruin for being water levels that I don't despise.
Right?
I think
that's a pretty consistent
the operating or the optimal thing in both is that both levels have enough of themselves taking place out of the water that you're not entirely submerged the whole time to make you want to die.
And they don't throw bullshit enemies at you underwater too.
That's true. Now, I think when you're underwater in Chemical Plant, your only obstacle is the platforming. I don't think they throw a single enemy at you while you're underwater the whole time.
Yeah, and then in Aquatic Ruin, they throw enemies at you, but they're not unavoidable.
Right.
They're all sitting ground level, and you can see them coming.
Yeah.
And I always liked grabbing the air bubbles in Aquatic Ruin to kind of refill your air underwater.
I always loved the sound effect.
The warp, warp, warp. Yeah, that's iconic. You can never forget that.
Yeah. I'll never forget how infuriating it was to die just as soon as like you would have gotten the air bubble.
Oh yeah, you run out of air when you're like right there,
2 pixels away
reaching
from
out
it,
your fingertips.
You've already been standing at it for 3 whole seconds.
Oh my god, it was
just kind of waiting for it to spawn and then you die.
Yeah, there's the tiniest bit of luck involved there for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Oh geez. Oh hey, let me complain about the final boss.
Okay.
I want to be more positive about the game because it is one of my favorites, but how many ways can you say, yeah, it's fucking great, go play it? It's a lot easier to nitpick, so let's do that. They make you fight 2 boss fights in a row with no rings.
Yeah.
In one go. So eat my nuts for that.
Yeah, but one of them's Metal Sonic.
Which is badass, and the boss fights are actually, like, he's actually a great boss fight, but, like, I have to beat him and then save state after I beat him and then like cheat my way into making it 2 different levels because that decision was ridiculous.
I think it's worlds better than the final boss fight in Sonic 1.
Yeah, and I mean, Metal Sonic is just... Oh, wait, is it Metal Sonic or Mecha Sonic? Because those are 2 different characters.
Oh, boy.
This one's Mecha.
I don't know. You're going to quiz me here. I'm not super verbose in Sonic lore.
I believe this one's Mecha, the like gray tin looking one, and the blue one is Metal Sonic.
Okay.
Let me ask you something.
Well, nobody crucify me for that. It was an honest mistake.
Speaking of Sonic lore and shit, I know Sonic has the longest running video game comic book.
Yes.
The Archie comics.
Yeah. But the movie that like explains Metal Sonic's origin story, was that before Metal Sonic's like debut in the games, or was that after?
Movie?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Like, you're not being a smartass?
I'm not.
Really? Where fucking Steve Urkel voices him. I think Jaleel White
Steve
played-
Urkel did a TV show. I don't know if there was a movie spinoff of that or if you just had a
Whoa.
VHS tape that was a few episodes of that.
No, dude, I remember. Oh shit, this is going way back in the day where
Steve Urkel's Sonic is a show. It's a series.
I don't think it was Steve Urkel. There was an actual movie, man.
I think you're nuts.
Let me look up on Wikipedia.
That said, I totally had a bunch of Sonic VHS tapes that, I don't know, one of them could have been a movie and I never noticed. I don't remember seeing Metal Sonic in any of that. I'm not going to call Sonic lore important, though, or those shows, to be honest.
No, I looked up Sonic the Hedgehog movie and forgot about the newest movie. And
The new one that's going to make that ungoogleable.
oh god, it looks so bad. Was it an OVA?
Yeah, it does. And you know what?
Yes, it was.
I would ramble about how that new movie looks, but let's be real, guys. We're all going to watch it on premiere night and we're going to spotlight it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, here's the
And-
link for that.
Full disclosure, though, I am not going to see that movie sober.
Oh, absolutely not.
No, we're all gonna go
my
together
intention,
drunk.
My intention is that we're going to watch that drunk, and then someone is going to safely drive us home, and we are going to record the spotlight immediately and post it the next day.
Oh,
Nice.
that's
Fucking sucks.
brilliant. We'll just do like a stream of consciousness post-mortem.
That is absolutely my plan. Alex, this thing you just sent me, oh, it says episode 1 and 2, even though, why is it episodes?
But you see the picture for
OVA.
it. It's Sonic the
Yeah,
Hedgehog, the movie, but it's an OVA.
Sonic the Hedgehog OVA.
Why is Knuckles wearing a cowboy hat?
He comes out of nowhere and saves Sonic and Tails at one point.
Is he wearing a cowboy hat?
You bet your ass he is.
Okay, but why?
I don't remember. This was ridiculous. It was.
I don't know why, but I find this deeply disturbing. Like it's just
Look at his shoes.
I know,
hurts me.
right? They look so bad. Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is the
Look at-
tagline for this really scrape your knuckles, catch some tails?
Yes.
Oh my god, I didn't even see
Yes,
that.
it is. It's
Catch these tails.
I want to die.
catch these tails.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I think this is. the
Anyway,
movie
I had
that
a bunch of VHS tapes, but I did not have this one. I was not aware of this.
I want to say this is where they opened up with Metal Sonic. I can't remember.
Anyway, this is 96, so Metal Sonic was in Sonic 3 already.
Oh, I just caught this. Hang on. The to quote the Wikipedia thing about the settings, unlike the other Sonic the Hedgehog media, the setting of the series is the world of Planet Freedom, which I immediately read as Freedom Planet, and I'm like, huh, that's a good not Sonic game.
Planet Freedom.
Guys, did you look at the censorship headline on this movie?
Where it gives Metal Robotnik the finger.
It gets worse as you keep going.
Oh my lord.
Whoa.
All right, audience, we're going to continue being sidetracked here because honestly, you know about Sonic 2 and you probably don't know about this, and this is more interesting right now.
Oh god, maybe we should watch this for the next spotlight about Sonic.
Yeah, you know what? I take it back. I will absolutely spotlight this movie.
Yeah, okay. Wow. All right. I think oh man, I just reading about a pregnant lady and breastfeeding in a Sonic movie.
Yeah.
I never want to see
I'll just say this
I
is-
never want to see Dr. Robotnik in the same sentence as pregnant ever again. This isn't to
Right.
imply that Dr. Robotnik is pregnant, but
Oh my god.
he shouldn't
All right,
be involved in
I
a
think-
pregnancy.
I think
I mean, Jim Carrey's going to make him a fine looking dude.
I think I need to go. I need to go to bed. What the fuck?
Oh, Christ.
Wow.
Sorry for the distraction, audience, but you just witnessed the birth of another Spotlight episode that is
wow.
100% happening.
Yeah. Oh, this is definitely
Oh, God.
shit.
I don't know if I'm happy or sad I've learned about this.
Giddy up, cowboy Knuckles.
Yeah.
Christ.
If he doesn't have a cowboy accent, I think I might be upset. I can't remember.
Okay, guys,
man.
back to this game.
Yeah,
back to this game.
Sonic 2,
Other
back to Sonic
than
2.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so other-
the video game. So I think my major gripe with the game is Knuckles' lack of a cowboy hat.
Josh, I almost interrupted you mid-sentence to say, my God, are we still nitpicking a great game?
Yes.
Holy shit, guys.
And then I let you finish your sentence, and yeah, you know what? Fine. I'm going to nitpick that about every Sonic game.
From now
Why is
on
Knuckles
until the end
not
of
always
time,
a cowboy?
if Knuckles doesn't have a cowboy hat, they're getting shit from me about it.
Yeah.
Everyone wants Waluigi to be a pirate. Knuckles should be a cowboy.
Absolutely. It just makes sense. This is my headcanon now, and nothing can ever change my mind otherwise.
If you're listening and you have the skills, please make us a mod.
Yes. For every Sonic game, I don't care how. Every Sonic game.
Anyway, we've nitpicked to hell a game with very little wrong about it. Josh, tell me something good about it.
I mean, this game is near perfect. I feel like we're being hard on it today because we spent all of our Sonic 1 spotlight talking about how much better this game was than it.
Yeah, really. Yeah,
You start to run out of things to talk about for a 27-year-old game, so you kind of got to start to get a little bit critical. Realistically,
Yeah,
though,
absolutely.
like this game, it doesn't matter how many times you replay it. It doesn't feel as old as it is. It's just fun. It's one of the best games ever made. Probably, I would definitely put it in my top 10 platformers of all time. It might even be edging into the top 5. That's hard to say. I don't know. I just love it.
I'd have to say the exact same as you, Josh. It's at least in my top 15.
I want to immediately put it in my top 5, but it's hard when I'm currently exposing myself to a lot of Nintendo stuff that I missed out on.
Right.
I'm being exposed to a lot of newer platformers now, too, that I'm like, I don't know, maybe this belongs up there.
Right. Yeah. That's what's really difficult about it. But as far as our scoring system for the Sonic the Hedgehog series, this is number 1.
Out of
so-
2 at the moment, yes.
Yes.
I also don't envision it being dethroned anytime soon.
No, absolutely. I mean, granted, I never played 3.
Oh, shit, Alex.
I know. Well, dude,
I don't think I knew that.
I was very poor growing up. I only had, let me think here. I had the Power Rangers fighting game, which we actually just played last weekend. Sonic 2, Golden Axe 2, Mortal Kombat 3.
Golden Axe.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat 3, Eternal Warriors.
Yeah, well, I mean, most of us kids of the time just had our small handful of, we got 2 or 3 games a year. I'm just surprised that was not in that list. It's also been, collected a million times since. So I guess I'm just also surprised to hear that you never bought a Sonic Mega Collection or.
Nah, man,
I guess it just caught me off guard because I've probably bought the game 5 times.
Well, let's do something novel for this series and wait until Sonic 3's own episode to talk about it. How about that?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
That would be novel.
So
fine.
Just to let you know, guys, I'm going into this completely vanilla, and you'll get my.
Alex, you're still talking about Sonic 3. Stop it.
Fuck you! I'm talking about myself.
Just stop it.
I'm talking about myself. All right,
Christ. All right, guys. Summary. I don't know. It's hard to talk about because it's a masterpiece. Flawless level design 95% of the time. Still some of the best physics I've ever felt in a video game. Definitely in the top 5 soundtracks. When your game's consistently good, it's hard to say much except, hey, it's really good.
95% of the time, every time, it's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that said, ignore all our shit talking and play it if you're some kind of Neanderthal that somehow hasn't.
Yeah, I give it a solid 3 out of 10. Not enough cowboy hats on Knuckles.
Oh, goodness, guys. Yeah, we're watching this movie. All right.
Christ. All right.
See you in the next one.
Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.